All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Legend of the Galactic Heroes, episode 103.
All right.
Reinhardt's got a fever.
Well, Reinhardt, is in a bad way, but we got the whole Alliance, Iserlon Republic thing on the rise again as they just kicked ass in the corridor.
They seriously did. Merketz, you're amazing. Julian, way to go. Yep.
Poor Wallen.
Yeah.
Poor Wallen. he just never really can catch a break.
Bad draw the cards.
Yeah.
But now Reinhardt is going to retaliate.
Well, will he? He's not literally going to be able to do anything.
That's true. It was delayed because he wasn't well.
That's the thing. Yeah. He's in bed. He is not doing anything.
And theoretically, they could totally retaliate without Reinhardt, but he does kind of.
But again,
long for the battlefield.
It's delayed, so will he actually do anything? We'll see. I really much want to see the debate get brought up of if Reinhardt is not well enough to rule, should then the Kaiserin be the one that they start asking for direct orders from?
It's a good question.
Yeah. So, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. All right, everyone, now be sure to go check out the reaction portion of the video in the description below, then come back here for the discussion.
Holy shit, Oberstein.
Oberstein
I love you.
Oberstein had been holding this in for a while, but it wasn't until freaking Bittenfeld leapt across the desk, tackled him.
Yep. And my God.
Now, what I think is so amazing about this is this was perfectly foreshadowed with Oberstein's character being the kind of person that was not only one that carried these specific ideals, but also was starting to get frustrated with the current administration and the way that it was bastardizing its own, standard, ideal, vision, goal that it was kind of going towards, and was heading backwards, basically.
Right. And
wow.
And the thing is that this is one of the reasons why I love Bittenfeld, but it's also it's his flaw on
it's his fatal flaw,
right? But the thing is that because he's the instigator, right? He makes things happen, and by doing this, he did something that would hopefully, this might not end up going this way, but hopefully this would be a light that's being shown not just on the current administration, but on specifically Mueller and Wallen, because in the example of when they were departing the ships and everything, and Bittenfeld was saying all that stuff, the other people didn't shut him up.
Nope.
Right? Nope. Bittenfeld said specifically to Mueller, I'm not going to listen to his orders. I'm going to do things my way. That in the military, that's the kind of thing that's insubordination, right? That gets you, brig, court-martialed, something, right?
But he believes he's so above it because he's a high admiral. He's effectively a nobility of sorts.
Right. Because the thing is that he has done a really good job when needed. He's had some mistakes along the way, but but he's gotten to his position for a reason. Yeah. But the problem is that now there's that part of him that's believing, yes, I
can do no wrong.
I can do no wrong. Yep. I deserve this position, right? As opposed to the ruthlessly cold take that Oberstein has.
I think
at any point this could be taken from me, and that's okay.
Sure. I was even going to go even further, basically say that for me, I'm ultimately nothing but the means by which power is delegated to, so that we can more effectively serve the people of the Empire.
Sure, yeah.
That's all you are, Bittenfeld. That's all any of them are. And you really feel that in Oberstein here, in that he is trying to service the people exclusively, and this is important here, exclusively the people of the Empire as much as possible. That's why he doesn't really care about the lives of these 10,000, is that, when it comes down to just hard numbers, if we invaded the corridor, 100 to 1,000 times this would die.
Right. We just lost 400,000 people, in just a single battle, right? oh, something went slightly wrong. Almost 500,000 people died of our people, right? Yep. If we're going to take the corridor, right? How many more of our people are going to die? But also, their people too, right? So yes, I'm going to arrest 10,000 people that are then going to be the leverage point of, hey, because if you're this is the kind of the rub, is that if Iserlon is actually wanting to go to war with the Empire, right? In war, things get crazy, right? And it's do you realize what you're actually asking for here?
Yeah, I don't think they did.
Because yes, doing that battle and stuff, getting the negotiation leverage and all of that stuff, Oberstein's probably thought that, that's what they're doing, because of course they are, right?
Sure.
But no, this will not continue. This cannot continue. I will put a stop to this.
I loved the way in which, from the Isolon Republic side of things, they were like, we need to find something that we can trade that they would want. And then it's like, Oberstein's like, I'm 10 steps ahead of you.
I have something that I will offer to trade you that you will definitely want.
Yeah. And the fact that you have to take this offer.
Yep.
Because here's the part that's really ruthless about Oberstein's plan, is not about whether or not this is honorable. Because like he's saying, honor?
Honor in war? What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah. And you guys are the biggest fucking hypocrites of all to start spouting about the honor of all this.
Yep.
When literally you could not care whether or not, 10 ships, of yours were destroyed and thus all the people inside it, or, half of them because you would get victory or what have you.
Or because you would fight in the way that you seem to be, that you deem to be respectable, right? What are you talking about? Are we some
weird neo-religious cult where it's like, we're
not the Church of Terra.
And we're not basically the Vikings with our desire to go and ride into Valhalla with the Valkyries.
You can absolutely kick me out of the carriage to Valhalla, Bittenfeld.
Yes.
Because if I do my job right, we're not going to be on that carriage anyways.
God, right? I loved the way he very, I would say, what's not opposite of tact? Well, bluntly, yes.
Yeah.
Bluntly disrespected Reinhard.
Yeah.
And then the narrator even said, but he might have been a bit hypocritical by invoking Reinhard's name as like, and now respect the authority that I've been given by, the God King to say, you guys all need to fall in line.
Right.
Because now they might see it as, no, we were being insubordinate before. But you're even more potentially insubordinate.
Yeah.
So we're justified in what we're about to do here.
And
I am terrified.
I am absolutely terrified. But
there is no way he makes it to the end of this show now. He is he is dead. It's just a question of whether he dies next episode, the next episode of that, next episode of that.
And what his death brings. Because
exactly.
Because if they oh God.
I know.
This is how you know that basically the military discipline has unfortunately fallen out.
Yeah.
Is that once Bittenfeld jumped at Oberstein, Mueller pulled him off of him and everything.
Right.
But nothing that happens after that matters. Right? Like it's no. There is no question about this. It doesn't matter what comes out of Oberstein's mouth, right? It's you're out of line, soldier. Go cool off in the brig. Yep. Right.
Think about this.
Right. Think about this.
We'll discuss your punishment later.
Right.
And they don't need to execute him or play nice with him. It's very simple. Just no, get out. You lost your platform of privilege.
And Oberstein was actually, taking into account probably the political implications potentially of putting an admiral in the brig by saying you're on administrative leave.
Yeah, he's not doing a serious punishment here. He's basically saying you're taking a break and I'm putting you in the timeout corner effectively.
Right, but
so
you
won't be leading any ships for
a
small amount of time.
But it is a punishment, and it is a punishment on the pride, which is the source of the problem anyways. Right? But because they're admirals, and when was the last time something like that happened? And while Bittenfeld might, take a punishment like that from Reinhard when he knows he's messed up, he doesn't believe he's messed up here, for one. But two, it's from Oberstein, and he wasn't even planning to follow Oberstein's orders anyways.
Right.
And the whole bit that Mueller brought up of hey, just so you know, and he tried to make sure to do it tactfully and everything. I understand this decision, but I don't know if the Black Lancers will actually follow me. And then Oberstein just gives the wonderful response, because it's a legit concern. Hey, that this will be weird for them, right? And it's what you think we're you think it's his private army? No, they're soldiers. They will do what they are told.
Mm-hmm. I love the way this is building up, because the problem with the way Reinhardt set up basically his infrastructure post, basically defeating the Alliance and taking control of the galaxy, was he didn't actually make the right call by giving his admirals political power. He, in some ways, needed to basically demote them, bring them down to the level of, okay, cool, you guys will be in waiting for when we need soldiers. But right now, we don't need soldiers.
Yep. And you have done well, and you will be, respected and rewarded as such.
Right.
But this is the time for peace, basically, right?
So that was what happened with Ruenthal. This is what could be happening with Mittermeier. It's what's happening with Oberstein. It's what's kind of happening right now with Bittenfeld and all this going on here. Yep. Because the way in which he brought about the just total, just immediate arrest of all these people and stuff is the kind of thing where you go, okay, yeah, this feels a bit out of character of Oberstein, but it is going to work in the short term. So maybe he doesn't care about the long term yet. He's got something in addition to that. But then there's rumors going out about this. I'm like, oh my God, yes, this is the perfect plan. But then the way in which there was almost this lack of foresight on Reinhardt's part, because he not only sent Oberstein
but he sent Bittenfeld.
He sent Bittenfeld,
right?
Who is
Mueller,
probably the worst. Yeah. Oh, Mueller is a good doggo, a good boy. He's like Kessler,
right?
He's basically the military admiral, ship commander, more version of Kessler.
Yep. The only reason that Mueller could potentially be a problem here is because Reinhardt was besmirched by Oberstein, and now the doggo might wonder if he's actually serving his master by serving who his master told him to serve.
Right, but if you had sent Mecklinger...
Oh, yeah. Imagine Mecklinger in this situation instead of Bittenfeld. Oh, God.
Way better.
Yep.
Very calm, logical discussions about the whole thing.
Right.
And they would have argued, and it would have been interesting, because in a lot of ways they would have been like, don't you think that this isn't what Reinhardt wanted? And then they would be like, well, we will have to bring this up to Reinhardt. And Oberstein would be like, yeah, you do that.
Right.
That's okay. I'm not going to stop you. I'm not going to try and say that you're not able to do this.
And in fact, he even said, yeah, if you want to question this, take it up with the Kaiser. And the thing is that if they do, I actually see that as being the best outcome as a result of this. However, there's a very good chance that they won't. Right? Or when they do, it'll be too late. They'll do something before they bring it up with the Kaiser, right? Because, hey, you seem to be doing something that looks like it could be contrary to the Kaiser's orders, right? Kaiser, said, all right, let there be war, right? So hold on, this seems like it might be a potential abuse of power. Yeah, bring that up with Reinhardt, right?
Yeah.
But, it's a conversation between Reinhardt and Oberstein, not you guys and Oberstein.
Right. I love the way Mueller tries to de-escalate things, but still ends up using the word dignified with regards to a full frontal assault.
Yeah.
There's this aspect of Oberstein that I love as a perfect contradiction. I see Oberstein as the large, passive, like sand shark. Okay. Flat face, just, I'm here, and I will continue to be here forever. I don't have grand ambition. I don't have an ounce of selfishness in my body. I'm just here. And yet he has this dog. And there's this aspect of Oberstein that I've always wondered, where's his humanity? And in this episode, we saw his cybernetic eyes, go on the fritz for a little bit there.
Yep.
Reinforcing the idea that Bittenfeld's like, this fucking robot, I can't let him understand. I can't get him to understand. And yet, Mueller, the one who might even be so blind as to realizing, he's basically saying that 1 million men dying would be dignified compared to what Oberstein is doing. Now, there's no way they could predict exactly how many people would die, but it's a lot more than 10,000.
And given that 400,000 just died, right? Then
from one of the commanders here, one of the admirals here.
Yep. Well, and that's one of the things that I really would have loved to have gotten more perspective from Wallen on this.
I think he shut up because he knew he had no right to say anything.
Oh shit.
He was just angry and frustrated that Oberstein was just absolutely laying into Reinhard.
Right.
Well, Reinhard's not here to defend himself, you know.
Right. But because it's I want to see a conversation between these three, right? Because tensions get high in the moment, totally, right? Bittenfeld, I'm sure he will still be burning hot for a very long time after this, right?
But I think they'll be able to, on some level, be like, okay,
right,
Bittenfeld, you need to chill for a little bit.
Right. We need to
chill.
Right. We need to actually, like, whatever we do, we need to think about this and figure out what's going to happen.
Plan accordingly.
Yeah. And I really want to see what Wallen says when that happens because like what an awesome opportunity for him to show his true humility and strength and everything, to be like, no, guys,
he's
he's right.
Yeah.
I lost.
Let's bring this up to the Kaiser, but
let's bring this up to the Kaiser, but like, I lost so many men.
Yeah.
Right. And it happened so quickly through no fault of my own. Right.
Really,
because of the mess up of someone else who was on the other side. Suddenly, oh shit. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got a point.
Yeah.
You know.
I really love the. There's almost the the meme of, they hated him because he told the truth.
How could you say something so,
How could you say something so controversial and yet so controversial and yet so brave, you know? Right. Basically, that is what Oberstein did here. But the fact that he went back to the moment where he was like, no, Reinhard could have ended this all back then with Yang.
Yeah.
And he didn't. Millions could have been saved there.
And now they're rotting in the corridor.
Yep. That moment was just the thing where I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
The fact that he has that so viscerally, emotionally present in his heart and mind.
Yeah. We could feel the just everything in his voice, right? Even though he was still being very like, trying to be deadpan about it and stuff, but he actually raised his, volume a little bit there, right? That almost, when has that ever happened with Oberstein, right? Like,
yeah. And he calls it the Kaiser's pride specifically. I just love that. Like, this is the kind of thing that is almost on a writing level. It's a fun way to critique your own storytelling by saying that this is a mistake. That if you were looking at this point in the story, 2 years ago when this happened, you were probably like, okay, that was lucky for Yang there, okay. But now we get this extra perspective of, we knew probably back then what was going on for the most part, but now seeing that other people in the story saw it as well, and we're like, no, that left me furious.
Right. And the thing is that Oberstein can't do anything about it because he specifically chose to follow Reinhard because
Reinhard's making the most change.
He's making the most change. He could be that cult of personality, right? That's it. That brings a lot of strength with it, right?
But that's also the thing.
But that's also the downfall.
Oberstein hates,
right?
Is
that exactly.
It's not about personality.
Yep, and it's because and I love the idea that because like this entire time there's been the conversation of Reinhard's successor, right? How are we going to have Reinhard have a successor, and what's that going to mean? And will the dictatorial power that Reinhard has enjoyed and done a lot of good with, will that be able to be handled by the people that come after him? I always figured that was going to be something for a question for after Reinhard's gone, right? But no, it's actually rearing its ugly head right now because, in the whole situation with the Black Lancers and all that stuff, Bittenfeld is doing kind of what Reinhard's done, right? Monkey see, monkey do. Right? They are learning from their God King, right? And Oberstein suddenly saying, hell no, that's not how this ship runs. We aren't going to do that here.
Yeah.
Right? And, well, no one's told them no in a long time.
This desk is cursed.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. The fact that it was not the narrator saying this stuff, it was Fellner. But the idea that Fellner's just like, I think I see how this is going to go. Damn it.
Right.
Because Fellner has been this character that's kind of survived through quite a few things, just in general. He's one of those guys that you're like, whoa, like you were you're someone that betrayed the nobility to save your own skin, kind of, and also because you kind of believed in what they were doing, but you also you also are an interesting one. So it makes sense that you're with Oberstein.
Yes, and he has learned a lot from Oberstein. Like I love
quite a bit
over the course of the show how when Fellner was originally put with Oberstein, it was just kind of like this. Okay, Oberstein's doing this, and it was a great way to.
Oberstein, I think, wanted him nearby him to be like, I'll keep watch on him.
Sure, yeah, that too, right? But like Oberstein is the kind of character, since he doesn't bluster about like say Bittenfeld or whatever. How do we really know what's going on in his head? Well, having someone like Fellner who's there to basically, try and track and follow along with it, and it's he's not used to his way of thinking, but he's able to piece everything together. That's a great way for us to have a window into Oberstein's thought process, right?
Right.
And then along the way, he also learns and stuff. And while I could see him being a pretty good replacement for Oberstein, you can't just replace Oberstein. Like that's that we need. Organizations need a robot somewhere, right? The question is how do you use it? And but like. Oh boy.
Oh man. Yeah, it was kind of cool seeing also Eugen again. Like he was in the beginning of the episode.
Yep.
Not in the beginning, but like at the part
when they landed,
when they were transferring. Yeah, when they landed.
Yep.
And there's been this thing put into our notes because back then, Eugen was the voice of reason for Bittenfeld.
Yep, but he was the one I think that said, hey, they can hear you, sir.
But nope, not listened to.
Yeah.
At all.
Like.
Yeah.
And then Bittenfeld sneezes after that.
I loved the fact that almost the karmic aspect of the universe might have literally put the stress of Bittenfeld's frustrations into his physical body, and he literally caught a cold.
Yeah.
Just because he was blustering about like a little bitch.
Right.
Just saying.
We love you, Bittenfeld.
We love you, Bittenfeld, but oh
at
my
the same time, you are not meant for desk conversations.
Nope.
Right? In the same way that Oberstein is a robot, right? You are also a dick with an engine, right? And sometimes that is very helpful, but this is not one of those times.
No. Okay. So Reinhard, he's doing better.
Yep.
Things are moving in a generally positive direction there. We're catching up with most of the kind of main cast members of the Iserlohn crew here.
Yep.
Kind of the general side conversations of what will Oberstein do?
Right.
So then we see what Oberstein does. But looks like Oberstein's move, if he goes through with it, will happen before you attack. So are they going to get lucky, Iserlohn, in that this plan won't go through? Like it'll never see the light of day because
maybe
like some of the admirals are going to take matters into their own hands.
God. I really hope that doesn't happen. I want to see that conversation between the three of them.
It's going to happen, but the thing is that all it takes is Bittenfeld to just take 10 men, and they'll do what he says.
Yep.
They'll walk right through the halls, killing security, and be like, you're a traitor to the Empire. And then Oberstein would be like, do what you must. I only do anything I have to serve this empire.
But just know that, if you think Reinhard will thank you for this, you are sorely mistaken.
Yeah.
And
then we'll lose 2.
If not more.
Not more.
Oh, God.
Because the idea that, like you said, Bittenfeld was doing all this stuff, and
no
one really stopped him.
And the thing is that when it comes to his subordinates, there's not that much they can do.
No, they can't actually stop him. It has to be another high admiral.
Yep.
Yeah.
But they weren't.
So there's that.
Bergengrun's words now are really starting to, take on a much more ominous tone than they had even back then.
Yeah. So, y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below. For our Patreon, you can get an early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general, and also be sure to check out our Twitch channel.
We stream every weekday. The info's in the description.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.